YouTube land. Just want to say welcome to Atomic Cafe. Tonight we're going to talk about some bullshit, some other stuff too. I don't know. We'll just ramble and whatnot and see how long it goes. We'll try to have a good time. Make sure you comment, let us know where you're from. If you have any questions or anything, go ahead and shoot them on over. I'll try to answer them if I can. Otherwise, oh well, I may not. Also, when I play music, I take requests, but I randomly or rarely play them. Anyway, hope you have a lovely day. Come on and visit us. And don't forget to hit that like, subscribe, and press the notifications button because that's what people say when they do stuff on YouTube. It's like a thing, It's a thing. It's a thing. Anyway, today we're going to break my concentration, apparently. We're going to break my concentration. Anyway, so, I get on here and I suddenly can't remember what the hell I was saying or thinking, what we're going to talk about. So we're just going to roll with it. I am Tommy Edwards. I am your host of Atomic Cafe, the Oodcast. Oodcast. We're just a few minutes late getting started tonight. Had a phone call coming right as I was trying to get stuff going. Anyway, as you can see, I'm an artist. These are both commissioned pieces when to be picked up. I do lots of different stuff, from the macabre to the provocative, and lots of like lowbrow kind of stuff. Some surreal, like postmodern surrealism. Anyway, and tonight we're just going to sit here and talk and play guitar, and if I can think of anything to talk about, we'll talk about stuff. Going to talk a little bit about gang stalking and targeted individuals. We're going to talk about the government. We're going to talk about the government and the illegal tactics that it's using to unconstitutional tactics that it's using to police its own citizens, and a lot of cases like my own, just in retaliation for sharing the truth. And sometimes it's an inconvenient truth to those who have deep pockets, so they reach out to folks like the CIA or the FBI, and they say, hey, you should fuck with this guy, until you destroy their credibility, their reputation, their health, and and also here's some directed energy weapons. You should bombard them with electromagnetic radiation constantly, and anyone that's around them too, because there's no ethics in this. The people who do this are pretty much just scumbags, I think. Anyway, so I got a wonderful collection of photographs of perps and gang stalkers that have been in and around, following me, and just always seem to be around. So I figure at some point I'll start sharing those people and their information and their vehicle and tag numbers and photos of them, so you too can understand and know who these people are, and you can ask them, why are you doing this? Can't you get like a regular job that's not intentionally trying to sabotage and destroy people's lives? So, end of rant. Oh, but if you do think somebody's like following you or gang stalking you, one good way to tell is to when you pull up beside them and you put your phone up, they go like this, or they look away. Always. Never do they look at you. So it's that's a telltale sign of that's what's going on. Also, I'm going to be playing the music festival, the Radford Redbud Festival in Radford, Virginia, on the 13th of April. So make sure you guys come out to check us out. It's going to be a good time. Pretty much an all-day event, 3 stages, a whole bunch of different artists. I think I'm also emceeing the event. So come on out. We'll have a good time. And we shall break the gridlock of your entertainment needs. April 13th at the Radford Redbud Festival. Just making noise right now. I'm not really sure what to say. I had kind of an agenda or like a docket of information I wanted to share. Man, these ring lights, they're bright. So I got me these nifty Temu glasses here. They're great, like $3. And I get all kinds of stuff from them. That's where I got my shoes. And my tights. Anyway. Sort of in tune. Since we're already live, we'll just go with it. There we go. I gotta pick somewhere. I got me a pick somewhere. Gotta pick somewhere. Sometimes the dope and the darkness shuts out all the light, only leaves the carcass. Death starts stalking through all the bitching and the squawking. Angel paints a picture of 6 pallbearers walking. No hope, it's only sacrifice. Dealer shuffles fentanyl while millions roll the dice. Men's money and the lies that bind. Pouring gas on desperate times. Poor man pays the burden and the nation grows no wiser. Sacklers count their billions like the murderers sold by Pfizer. Sometimes the death and the darkness shut out all the light and only leave the carcass. Death starts stalking through all the bitching and the squawking. Angel paints a picture of 6 pallbearers walking. Angel paints a picture of 6 pallbearers walking. Cannibals feast on freedom. Liberty build defenses. Prison yards like playing cards. Star-spangled blinded glimpses. There's no hope, there's only sacrifice. Dealer shuffles fentanyl while millions roll the dice. There's more to that, but I can't remember. If I haven't said or haven't mentioned, I have a degenerative brain disease called CTE. Now, the experts will tell you that I can't know for sure because it can only be diagnosed after you're dead. And that's convenient for the people that are in the market of creating this knowingly in people through contact sports and the folks that profit and exploitate others for their participation for profit. And like me, they don't like me because I tell it like it is, and I've been suffering for most of my adult life from these enigmatic, like random things that pop up. So anyway, I'm probably going to go like another 10 minutes and then pop off here. But um, you know, civil rights are a funny thing. We live in the land of the brave, home of the free, land of the brave, however you want to put it. And our federal law enforcement that are tasked with protecting our civil rights um, and investigating and prosecuting hate crimes um, don't feel a need to return phone calls or to look into these things, especially if they're the ones that are infringing on your civil rights. Isn't that just convenient? Now, there's a guy named Dave Cadella that I played football at Virginia Tech. And I was an All-American high school football player at Radford High School and consensus All-American running back. And I started working on a documentary called Brain Sloshed about 6 or 7 years ago, and advocating for CTE awareness and information online through Twitter and things that kind of got me into some stink with people. Anyway, so I had a SWAT team sent after me to murder me in retaliation for exposing a criminal conspiracy to silence me back in 2018, and reached out to the FBI several times, local and state authorities. They don't do anything. Local authorities, they were the ones that actually they broke into my house without a warrant, and then they broke into my safe without a warrant, pinged my phone without a warrant, and sent a SWAT team after me in New Jersey, telling them I was armed homicidal, most likely headed for a school, which obviously that wasn't the case. So I'm gonna play some music. How you doing out there? Say hello. Tell us where you're from. Welcome to the Atomic Cafe. I've been waiting so long for you to walk right through that door. I've been searching high and low. I ain't looking anymore. 'Cause all my words are on the table. Every combination red. I just can't outrun these memories of every stupid thing I've ever said and did. Years go by and pass forever. I feel I'm getting old these days. Youth is life passing like a freight train. Ooh, and I have little more to say. All my words are on the table. Every combination red. I just can't outrun these memories stupid thing I've ever said and did. That's right. I've been running for so long from myself and where I've been. The tide is pulling me away from my family and my friends. All my words are on the table. Every combination red, yeah. I just can't outrun these memories of every stupid thing I've ever said and did. Years go by and pass forever. I feel I'm getting old these days. Rippled ponds distort reflections from pebbles thrown in younger days. All my words are on the table. Every combination red. I just can't outrun these memories. Every stupid thing I've ever said and did. I've been waiting for so long for you to walk right through that door. I've been searching high and low. I ain't looking anymore. All my words are on the table. In every combination red. I just can't outrun these memories. Every stupid thing I've ever said and did. Not bad for amateur. I'm not warmed up or anything either, and my mom's upstairs at her house helping her. She's not feeling well. So, anywho, got a viewer out there. I hope you're having a nice night and some artwork. This was a commission. Waiting for somebody to pick up, and this was a commission that I over commissioned and ended up repainting it for the person. It's actually in the other room, ready to go too. But this one took a different turn. Now get on here and I need to have an agenda and like a list and I don't know, a script or something because I mean Frank, my manager Frank Copella tells me every day he's like damn it Tommy you gotta get your act together, it's terrible, you're just all over the place, you're sloppy, you forget stuff, you lose track in the middle of saying shit and I don't know, I think you should get back on the drugs, man, you were far more charismatic than I'm like Frank can't do it, changed my life. I've had to change some things around. I put down the gummy bears. I know you tempt me with them all the time, but I ain't doing no more gummy bear. That's all I'm saying. Thank you. So, if you got a certain type of music you like, let me know. I take requests. I seldom play them, but I will take requests at times. Hello, we have another viewer. Woo Rider's dog. How you doing, buddy? Good to see you. How's Florida? And the Frankenstein gang. Very cool. I mean, not cool in that you're going through some of the same stuff because it's just awful. um, which part are you talking about? The CTE is a real thing. Yes, it is. It is a real thing. Were you an athlete? Did you play contact sports or
were you into like combat sports or something? Because I played football, and in high school I played. Um, as a sophomore, I played both varsity and JV, and I played every JV game. Practiced every day with the varsity, and then would Friday nights I'd play. I played 7 games with varsity that year, and played both offense and defense in both in special teams. So it was like 4 seasons at once. But we have people out there that don't want to recognize that physics is real, and that when you have two bodies in motion and they collide and suddenly stop, the brain inside the skull goes and has to dissipate all that energy and turn it from kinetic energy into potential energy, and it does so by turning your brain into pudding. And what I run the 40-yard dash in coming out of high school, 4.2. I'm sorry, 4.42, 4.42. Yeah. And I was about 200 pounds coming out of high school. Started the season at 190. When I finished up, I was 200. When I played at Tech, I played at Virginia Tech. My first year I was like 220, and then my last year I played, I was like 235, and still ran 4.42. And nice. It's what position did you play? I played tailback and inside linebacker most of the time, and I was, like I said, I was consensus All-American running back, and I was first team All-State linebacker. Nice. So you're a big guy. How tall are you? I'm like 6 feet and 5'11" in dream, like 5'11" 3/4, something like that. But that was had me but like 6 feet or 6'1" in the guide. I may be a little shorter than that now. I've got some degenerative discs and stuff. I've been dealing with this gang stalking, which is ridiculous invasion of privacy and like crazy shit that the government does. Let's see. Good friend Gary Bardridge played 9 years NFL. You're right at 6'5". Yeah, you're a big guy. Yeah. Yeah, I'm like right at just under 6 feet. So people tell me that I'm a big guy, which I'm like, I don't understand, because I was around guys like you all the time. From the time I was a kid. And like my dad's 6'3". He played for the Bills. He also played at Virginia Tech. And it was we were the first father-son combination to score rushing touchdowns in a bowl game, in bowl games in NCAA history. And we both played at the same school with the same number. But and then he got drafted by the Bills, and I transferred after my sophomore year at Tech to Boise State, played a season there. After abuse, neglect, and exploitation there, I decided, fuck this, I'm done. And I had a concussion in the first game. It gave me Wernicke's aphasia. I couldn't understand what anybody was saying. I stayed in the game. I started to jog off the wrong sideline. Somebody grabbed me and pulled me back in the huddle. And I didn't understand what the quarterback said when he called the play. When the fullback told me that it was the same play, I didn't remember what the play was. I had knocked the defensive back out the prior play, and it was like the end of the quarter. So we had switched into the field and stuff, and they had to get him off the field. So it was a little bit of time, but not a ton. And but my brain rewired itself. I grabbed the fullback and said, "I don't know what it was." He said, "Same play." I said, "I don't know what that is." He said, "Follow me. You get the ball," and I took it like to the 3, from midfield. and then after that, suddenly I started waking up with poetry in my head and started writing songs. And so I said to myself, which was something I always wanted to do, was be a musician and be in a rock band, be a singer. And suddenly I had words coming to me that made sense and were were what they were. It turned into songs, and that gave me enough motivation to pick up the guitar. And I mean, I was already playing guitar, but I couldn't play and sing at the same time. And every time I started to make a little bit of progress on the guitar, I'd break a finger or a hand or something, because of sports, or just always too busy and or too broken to really make much progress. So I decided I wasn't going to play any more football. Thank you, I appreciate it. Yeah, trying to get the story out, and that's part of the reason I wound up on the federal terrorist watch list, because apparently, trying to protect the neurological rights and civil rights of children, in trying to advocate for, you know, um, you know, not allowing kids to play sports that put them at risk of neurological damage, and inherent risk of brain damage, um, for public entertainment and for the profit of the schools. The high schools. I mean, the public education system, like scholastic sports, where there's inherent risk of injury, is antithetical to the whole mission statement of public education to begin with. Every now and then you'll notice that I like glitch, and I may stutter or stammer or like stare off into space trying to figure out what the hell I was going to say. That's brain damage, and that's my CTE. And I get things like, I had a doctor's appointment in 2018 to talk about I needed to get MRIs at the request of my concussion litigation attorneys, that was part of a class action. And I needed to establish a new GP, so I went in to meet this new doctor, because I don't go to the doctor unless I'm sick. And he he was real nice. Talked to me for like 45 minutes, and I talked to him about my fear of like pharmaceuticals, and just like throwing like drugs at symptoms without understanding what the symptoms are from. And because of I get holes all through my brain, um, I get symptoms for diseases and conditions that I don't have. I just get like random ghost symptoms. So like that rash of NFL suicides that happened about 15 years ago, there's a whole bunch of them that were making the news. That's kind of when CTE kind of came to the forefront. That was a lot of that was caused by guys fighting, or trying to fight the depression that CTE causes. And it's awful, horrible depression, and you really can't get much relief other than stimulants that boost dopamine. Um, the antidepressants are like a recipe for suicide or homicide, just because it's not that our brain makes plenty of serotonin and it's in the bloodstream, but there's no there's no the synapse, or the neural pathways, and where that serotonin would connect in the brain, isn't there anymore. It's just it's dead from cell death. There's just holes in my frontal lobe and my parietal lobe, and so that's how a lot of these guys were trying to fight their depression, and like Junior Seau, and like Dwayne Duerson, and some of the toughest guys to ever play the game. They shot themselves, or like Terry Long. He drank a gallon of antifreeze, you know, and he was patient number two, right after Mike Webster from they're both Pittsburgh Steelers. That's kind of what got the ball rolling on Dr. Bennett Amalu, this pathologist that spent his own money to research this phenomena that he saw in these two bizarre cases of deaths that he was the pathologist for. Yeah, Mike Webster was he was like pulling teeth out and then super gluing them back in, and he was huffing gas and like shocking himself with a taser just to feel something on a regular basis. Living in his truck. Um, he had big fissures in the bottom of his feet, and he had his feet duct taped together to hold those fissures together. And like the body came in such bad condition that Molly was like, what the hell's going on here? And he's from Africa, so like football is not his thing. It's not his jam. He don't care about it. But all the rest of the folks there in Pittsburgh were like, it's just that's Iron Mike. Give him some respect. You don't need to question all this stuff. And then the Terry Long thing came in, and he's like, questioned what would cause a man to drink a gallon of antifreeze. And this special little thing we call CTE. Hey. So I went to a neurological rehab after being illegally hospitalized in January 2018 by folks within my community. That was initiated by a former high school coach. That was he was the supervising magistrate for all the magistrates from Roanoke, Virginia, all the way to Lee County, which is like a third of the state. And his wife was the deputy chief of police, and their names are Garland Wayne Fry. He's retired now, and Angie Fry. She's retired now too. And when I posted about this online, 2 months after I was illegally hospitalized, I found out that before it was determined that I even need to be evaluated. That there was the hospital that I was sent to. The entire staff was briefed that I was going to be coming there, which is that's a violation of my HIPAA rights, and not to mention there's some ethical issues going on there because I hadn't even been evaluated to see if I needed to be evaluated. I mean, the ECO hadn't been served yet, which that's required before there's a TDO, which is a temporary detention order. And they did it specifically over Martin Luther King weekend. So a 72-hour hold turned into a 6-day minimum because there were no government officials there to do their job. The assessor who determined that I needed to go from the evaluation to the detention hold, when I told her that I had CTE and this was a squabble that had spilled onto social media between my sister and myself, she responded, "I've never heard of that regarding to CTE." And then there she was. She had her laptop open with Facebook pulled up, and she pulls out 2 pieces of paper with printed screenshots of posts that I had made on Facebook in the week prior. Totally unrelated posts and totally taken out of context because they were screenshotted in such a way that it didn't show the full the full thing. And when I said, "Hey, this is out of context, you mind if we just go to my page and I'll show you real quick?" And she reached over and just closed the laptop. Said no. So the fix was in at that point. I knew that was going to be some bullshit, and it was highly traumatizing. And when I was served some information from my kid's mom, that she had filed in Kansas regarding this as a way to manipulate the situation. That's when I learned that the school resource officer had initiated it by going to my sister, who was a principal in the school system here in town, and they basically leveraged her job to get her to go and have an ECO taken out by a magistrate whose supervisor was my high school football coach. And the school resource officer, his supervisor was the magistrate's wife. So when I posted all that, like 2 months later, while I was up in New Jersey visiting my ex-girlfriend, she was my ex at the time, for her birthday. The next morning, I get a phone call. Actually, that night, I get a phone call from a dispatcher from my hometown in Radford, telling me to take the post down. Where I was calling him out for criminal conspiracy, and I said, "Am I breaking the law?" She said, "No." I said, "Well, then you should fuck off." And so the next morning, I get a phone call from the police, and they were inside my house. They said they got wellness check, which this was a complete abuse of the system, abuse of psychiatry, and just it was all everyone was fabricated. This was like the ninth one. Um, over the course of a year and a half. Anytime I would talk about CTE on Facebook or anything, there would be the police at my house the next day to check on me because somebody was worried. But wasn't my family, wasn't any of my friends, wasn't anybody that I know. And so then they're there to serve a protect or a wellness check. And so they get there and the door was standing open in my house. Now, granted, my cousin had just left my house from feeding my dogs, and he shut and locked the door. And I had just gotten off the phone with him when I get the phone call from the police. And so they say that they, by law, have to go in to check to make sure that because the door's sitting open, that I'm not hurt inside or there's nobody hurt inside. So my house has like 5 rooms, 6 rooms, small house. So I'm on the phone with the guy for 45 minutes or so. He's asked me if I'm off my meds. I'm like, I don't take meds. I don't require any. And asked me if I have any guns with me. I said I own guns, but I don't have them with me. Um, he asked me where they were. I said none of your business, and they were just under my bed. If they had looked up under the bed, a little harder, they looked through everything else. They found the paperwork to my safe to open it, which would have required an additional warrant. And then they pinged my phone to ascertain where I was, and they contacted the authorities up in New Jersey, up in Bergen County, and requested a SWAT team be dispatched to apprehend me without saying why. But they did say that I was armed homicidal, most likely headed for a school, like 2 weeks after the Parkland shootings. So I think that constitutes a attempted murder because like they shut down the school, they closed down the schools, shelter-in-place of schools, businesses, homes for like 6 hours. My ex and I had gone to breakfast neighboring county to one of those famous New Jersey diners. We're having kind of, I guess, brunch, and then we're going to head into the city for the day. While we were eating, she got 2 text messages saying, shelter in place. There's a SWAT team across the street getting ready to go in to a house over there. And then right after that, there was a phone call, and it was a detective asking her if she knew where I was. And she said, yes, sit across from me at the table where you're having breakfast. Hands me the phone, and this guy lies to me and says that my van's been involved in a hit and run. And I need to come fill some paperwork out. And having already like had the conversation with the police at my house and everything, I knew something was up. And so we went on to the city for the day to celebrate her birthday. But my van was definitely involved in a hit and run. It was hit by the SWAT team as they broke into it, and $4,300 in cash disappeared. Nobody's been held accountable for any of it. There was thousands of dollars worth of damage done to my vehicle, and my reputation was destroyed. I mean, I was put on the federal terrorist watch list because of this shit, and that's what got me targeted. So it's a little something, a little something special. And I used to believe in this country and the Constitution and the American dream, and it's just a fucking nightmare. I mean, the only people the American dream is for are the fucking wealthy people that have the money to pool to just harass and use these electromagnetic weapons and other like dirty tricks to harm people and to silence them. And that's not cool. Who's held accountable? Who polices the people that are supposed to police this shit? Because those are the ones that are facilitating it, turning a blind eye, and participating. On the 3-year anniversary of all this, there was a I had a weird experience where somebody wanted to come see me. I hadn't seen them in a while, and it was kind of odd that they were just needed to talk to me right away. This was like during the afternoon, didn't show up till like 1 o'clock in the morning. Well, knew something was up, so I asked somebody that was in and around my life at the time if they would please come over and stay outside and watch and see if just kind of like keep an eye out, see what happened. And sure shit, we're inside the house there, and get a text message say there's somebody coming up through the woods, and somebody coming into my property from the front across my garden, which seemed to be in line with kind of what I had been experiencing prior to that. And as soon as that happened, the person who had to see me and had something to tell me that hadn't really told me anything, suddenly that she had to go. She got a text message right about the same time, and so I had a shotgun sitting next to me under a jacket. So I picked that up and said, "Yeah, there's somebody outside creeping up on my property," and I headed out to see what was going on. And she came up behind me and got in her truck, and my friend came out. When I say friend, I use that word lightly because she was actually an asset of the CIA that was interjected into my life in the fall of 2020. Um, and I can provide her name too. It's Katie. Katie Monroe. She's married now. Abood, I think is her last name, but her original legal name before she changed it was Penelope Doxson, and that's the name listed on the email between she and a senior security officer at the CIA discussing me in the email that I've got a screenshot of. All kinds of recordings that we're talking about stuff and pictures, and I film and record the conversations with the FBI when I've called them. Anyway, so there's this one guy, Dave Cadella, who is I guess he's the field office, one of the chiefs of the field office in Roanoke, and he played football at Virginia Tech too. 4 years behind me, he played a few years in the NFL, and so I was able to get his direct number from just the Tech football kind of um, Facebook group, and the guys that played, the alumni, and one of the guys he played with shot his number over to me, and I have texted and called it, and never returned any call or responded to any of my text messages, and I'm asking for help. Because this is affecting my life. People break into my house. People break into my mom's house to have my vehicle sabotaged. I've been poisoned um, multiple times. You know, more than once by the chick, the handler chick. She also broke down and kind of as I asked questions about people throughout my life, she confirmed several of them had been assigned to me as handlers by the Central Intelligence Agency. And I was always under the impression that they weren't supposed to do anything to Americans, but I guess that MK Ultra thing that they were doing back 50s, 60s, 70s, that never stopped. And here we are. I'm living proof of part of it, But something called the Stargate program. They're trying to develop psychic spies, and specifically to locate kids with unique gifts through like the gifted programs and stuff, and to enhance those through ritual torture and abuse, and as a way to that it's a continuation of research that Joseph Mengele, the Nazi concentration camp doctor that they called the Angel of Death, was working on when they when he went down to South America after the war. They brought a bunch of those guys to the United States as part of Project Paperclip, and just integrated them right into the fabric of American culture. Anyway, so I can tell I'm boring you guys. I'm gonna do like another song, and I'm gonna book off here. But thank you for coming on and staying on there. You're from Hampton Roads area. You have a couple of close family members that help fight human trafficking behind the scenes. Awesome. That's awesome because um, a lot of I'm being trafficked. Like the it's part of the gang stalking is that they sell your neurological data. It's a very serious problem, and it's in every country. Yeah, in the United States, yeah, no doubt. It's not just sex trafficking either. Um, football, for example, that's a form of human trafficking and child trafficking. To for making money off of the abuse of these young folks, and people say, you just have to play. I'm like, I didn't really feel like I had a choice. You know, you know, I quit in sixth grade because I hated football, And my dad said, "Okay, you can quit this one thing, but you got to you're gonna have to do something next year. You're gonna play football. Or you can be a band fag." And that didn't seem like something that sounded good. So I signed up for football next year. The next year, but, um, but I play music. I'm not a fag. Um, although I do I do enjoy a good song. So you Will, you found me on the typical skeptic podcast. You ever check out Imagination podcast? Um, if not, you should check that one out too. I mean, I've got 3 episodes on skeptics, on skeptic, typical skeptic, and then another one on the Imagination podcast with Emma. They help girls get out of it and reintegrate them back into society slowly. Some girls, it's all they've ever known. It's very sad. Yeah, no doubt, if that's the truth. And I don't know if you've ever heard of Kathy O'Brien. She's one of the most famous whistleblowers for the Monarch programming, which is part of MK Ultra and the sex slaves trade within our own government. She was owned once by um, Senator Byrd from West Virginia before he passed away. And when she was 6, she was sold into the Monarch programming sex slave program, to Gerald Ford while he was still the governor of Michigan. We're gonna apparently have had a whole bunch of perverts and pedophiles and just sick motherfuckers, you know, pulling strings and dictating what's going on in our country, which is and part of the reason that our country's falling apart. That it's all intentional. They pit people against each other using wedge politics and race and sexuality and abortion and things that are like emotional hot like topics as a way to drive a wedge between us, and then they get us fighting against each other. That way, we can't come together in solidarity and go after the real evil and take down the folks that have subverted our government and and outsourced it, and just as a way to another program that many people know about, Project uh, Incognito. I'm not familiar with that one. I know cointelpro and like a lot of the different sub projects and stuff from MK Ultra, um, like Project Superman and like the Montauk Project. That was in something that was an offshoot of the Montauk Project, and I think they use a lot of. I mean, sports, like professional sports. That's all. It's all distraction, and entertainment industry. They're all subverted by the company too. You know, that's why it's such a cesspool. And it's like country music. It's a propaganda tool and a way to traffic narcotics all around the country. Oh yeah, Northwoods for sure. Where they were gonna uh, do a false flag down in Miami, make it look like a bunch of Cuban nationals were attacking people in the United States as a way to legitimize invading Cuba. And then Kennedy pulled the plug on it before it happened. And they had Bay of Pigs, and that was embarrassment. And then Kennedy said he was going to dismantle the CIA and smash it into a million pieces. And then they murdered him on TV live. That was a coup. Coup. Bless you. So, yeah, it's been like an hour. I'm going to pop off here. And thank you guys for sticking around. Appreciate it. Woo. Woo. Rider's dog. Cool. Peace. Don't be a stranger, man. Hit me up. We'll have a chat on not online if you want to. Anyway, thank you again. Thank you again for for participating and your input. And I'm gonna start doing this more often and trying to get something going. We got some interviews with some folks I'm going to be doing for the Oddcast. Your name is Derek. Derek. Woo woo. Derek. Tommy. Nice to meet you. I appreciate you. Chiming in and interacting with me here. I'm pretty isolated most of the time, so it's nice to be able to talk to folks, especially somebody that has some insight into some of the things that I deal with on a daily basis that most people just wouldn't understand. So that being said, I'm gonna do a song and play us out. Let's see. Do Masquerade. This is stick around. Let me do a song. I think you might enjoy it. Take this mystery, open up the window and set me free. Well, it's another day. The sun is shining, so I must be on my way. I'll be back someday. For too long will I be here to stay. Keep on holding on. I know it seems forever, but baby, please be strong. Keep holding on. Hey, I see a new horizon. Standing in the doorway, well, I'm busy analyzing this. It's not a song for me, but it's a song for you. It's not a song for misery. I'll be back someday. For too long will I be here to stay. So keep on holding on. I know it seems forever, but baby, please be strong. Keep holding on and on. Keep that lamplight shining, keep that home light strong. And take this mystery, open up the window and set me free. This is just a masquerade. Any fool can see the plot through this thin charade. I'll be back someday. I'll be back someday. I'll be back someday. I'll be back someday. For too long, well, I'll be here to stay. With that, I'll say adieu. Thanks so much. Appreciate you sticking around. And spread the word. Tell people. If just trying to make a difference. And thank you. And make a living trying to rebuild my life. Yeah. Peace. Thanks again, Derek. Appreciate it.